kiss for luck and we're on our way.
We've only begun.
Before the rising sun, we fly. So many roads to choose. We start out walking and learn to
Oh, babies, you got us coyotes smiling and a grinning and a singing right here in the great daylight, right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only and exclusively on the Hazy Radio Network, the rockinest network in town, the biggest hearts you've ever found hanging around, babies. Yes, indeedy, right here in the great daylight. You know, you can get us on your mobile phone. Download TalkStream for mobile, TalkStream Live for mobile. It's an app for your phone. There are others. There's some to play on iPhones and so forth. Just look for the Hazy Radio Network as a part of that app, and babies, you can take us on the go. You can even plug us into the car stereo and pretend we're on FM, babies. Ain't it fun to be here in flight in the great daylight? Just knowing that your heart's opening and starting to glow, babies. Yeah, baby, you're starting to get it right. Right here in the Coyote Daylight, babies. We got them day angels with us now, man. They're hanging around. Look at them just swirling around you, baby. Little flapping feathers all around your beautiful presence, man. Everywhere you look, there's angels everywhere, all around you, man. The energy is vibing up. The tribe is tribing up. And, babies, we are rocking today. Look at that, man. You're starting to glow. You're starting to flow. You're coming back to life. You're beginning to realize, wow, you're not dead after all, man. You thought you was. You thought your days were limited and numbered and it was over, baby. You thought whatever love there was, you grab what little you could find, it's done. Is it? No way, baby. It's only just begun. Yeah, right there inside of you right now. You got the great start. This old coyote has the key to your heart, and here it comes, and there you go. Off you come flying with the rest of the show. Right here, yeah, babies, on the Coyote Medicine Show on the Hazy Radio Network. Babies, it's amazing to be able to fly and carry a computer with you, ain't it? Gotta keep this broadcast going. The show must go on. yeah. As you can tell, Grandpa's bubbling over with the Friday happies. You know, the weekend promises to be rather a beautiful and poetic one. I mean, already the weather's starting to warm up. The sun is shining out there. It felt so good down at the hot springs this morning to be able to absorb water and sun. I mean, while I was lying in that magical water, it all turned to this loving liquid gold around me, man. It's like, the energy just matched and everything was just perfect in that moment, man. It's just like, whew, we were one water, one earth, you know, and one sky above with the sun is shining. Oh, man. Yeah, wow, I tell you, and surrounded by mayhem. There was a whole bunch of little kids at that place this morning, and it was loud and noisy, and parents shouting down to kids and stuff, you know, hey, kids, you can't do that, you can't do that, do that over there, do that over, you know. You just tune it all out, babies. And you become one with the sun and one with the earth and one in the water. And, oh, babies, it renews you. It's like starting life all over again each time you get a little visit like that. It doesn't happen like that every time you're at the springs, but something of a similar nature will. You're always renewed, you're always purified, you're always detoxified greatly. Those waters have minerals and magic in them that pull the toxins right out of you. And I'm not talking just about poisons in your system that come from the food and the atmosphere and so forth, but toxic thoughts, toxic energies, man. They either transform or change or go down the drain so they can transform or change down there in Mother Earth's heart, man. One way or the other. That kind of action is finished with you when you're floating in that kind of water, babies. That's why I so encourage you, man. This is all about purification today, man. Get yourself to the water. Get yourself in the sun, babies. Those two elements plus earth, of course, and sky, which we are the juncture of course. These are very important for you. A lot of us live in the colder climates, been cooped up for the winter. It's finally starting to get some sun out there, finally starting to warm up a little. It's pretty soon time for a little sunbathing, babies and babies. You want to do that as often as you can, as much as you can, without burning yourself to a crisp and so forth. And please, 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 don't put on that sunblock crap. If you're a little concerned about, put a little olive oil on your skin. It helps you, you know, stay soft and supple forever, man, you know. I mean, it really works. Ask the Italian ladies, man. They'll show you. They don't tell you. They show you, baby. But that's the worst thing you should ever put on your skin going out to lie in the sun. Never use this chemical blocker stuff. It blocks you. It blocks you from your own intelligence. I mean, some of these chemicals are harsh, and but right now we'll neutralize, in case you've done any of that stuff lately, we'll send out this neutralizing wave of love. There you go. That will take care of all of that. So if you got toxins kicking around in you, all that magic I picked up out of that water and the sun this morning and the earth comes right through you now. See, magic is magic, you know, and I can take a little gift and magnify it into a big one, you know, call it loaves and fishes, if you will. In a spiritual context, I reckon it is. But we can take a little bit of energy and turn it into a lot. And any one of you doing this too, right along with me, we all in this together. We're all the magician, each and every one of us. We've all climbed to the top of the mountain and sat there for a while and nearly got our poor old asses blown away by the winds and the weather. But we gutted it out, man. We stayed there no matter what the weather was until we heard the voice of God. And she said, get your butt off the mountain, go get someplace warm and get a cup of coffee. You idiot, what are you doing up here? Yes, life, babies, you know. Just when you think you got it, you figure out, well, I had it all along, didn't I? I didn't need to be up here on silly old mountain. Good grief. But at least I got to talk to God. She's all right, man. Maybe. Whew, I tell you. And she drives that Mazda Miata like it can fly, because it does. Okay. Don't throw stones at me, babies. It's a lightness. It's a brightness. It's a fun little joke. But it's for real, too, babies. You've been looking at God all the wrong way all of your lives, man. It's part of the grand brainwashing that's gone on here, the mind control shit. So they get us to externalize God, you know. This is a big old boogeyman in the sky, and he watches over you, and he knows everything you freaking do. He's better than Santa Claus at that shit, man. He's got you down, man. And he's going to hold it against you. When you get home, baby, he's going to spank your ass and send you to hell and poke you with pitchforks. Yeah, right. Come on, guys. Cheezo. That's a fairy tale that ain't even worthy of a fairy tale book, let alone a historical context of any sort or any kind of like credibility. What a farce, what a laugh. Creation lives inside of you. Don't externalize your energies. When you commune, when you pray, pray inside to the great spirit that lives within you, that creation that is the love that creates and has created and is creating and experiencing with you, which is the grand heart, the one heart in all. See, that's where it is. And it's not a God at all. It's a great spirit. It's an energy. Gods are another thing. It's different. Baby gods is what we are, and we're the center of everything because we live in the Mother Earth's heart. And she embraces us with that heart and makes us her active beings, her feelers, her knowers, her doers. You know, we're ones that create the activity in which she can participate. That's why animals and plants and trees and everything exist. So there can be an experiential feeling shared grandly between all in every moment that is. And it all comes down to one big moment, you know, where there is no time, where it all is there together. A big singular moment of feeling. And in that big singular moment, the angst goes out the window because we're so firmly anchored now inside of our innocence, which is tenderness, which is contentment. There is that contentment within, no matter what else is going on. It has its firm anchor in you. And it is from that point, this contentment, that the grand orgasm rises and spreads across all of the frickin' universe, baby, and transforms everything. Just because you got to a point where you could feel all right. Right here in the great daylight, or right there in the middle of the night, or whenever you happen to be doing your thing in this moment of now, which is not history. It's this place. It's this time. It's this moment, which is all moments combined. This one here, in which we live right now. You know, you never leave the now. Do you realize that? You're always right there. The illusion of time is just that. It's an illusion. Yes, there is a passage of sun over earth, and of nighttime and daytime, which is self-correcting as the two suns arise. Of course, we live in constant light, always. We've been in a dumbed down and worn out state. You know, we've allowed this. We needed to feel the richness in that experience, to test the heart to its limit. But we are that creation, each and every one of us testing it. And it's a divine innocent. It's a baby child lying in a manger, looking out and seeing what it sees and knowing what it knows and being what it bees. And we bring this baby child to full stature inside of our so-called adult persons here, our full stature human beings, which are not full stature yet. Just wait. It's happening. The body changes. I know you're feeling it already, man. Expect to be a little worn out. Expect to be a little exhausted. Even if you haven't done a cotton picking thing, but a little bit of energy work in the day. Babies, we're changing. The body is a little slow rearranging. It's catching up. It's catching on. It's getting better. But it's taking it a bit. You've got to be patient with it. The body is thick, dense. At least it thinks it is. And therefore, change comes through it in the past kind of slow. But in the now, it happens right now. You don't wait for anything. It's here. It's now. It's inside of you. Let it blossom. Let it bloom. Feel the warm sunlight on your heart. And know it's time to grow. It's time to let it go. Time to release it all. The great love, the innocent love, that which you have been so frightened and afraid of, and so scared out of since you were a tiny kid. By, yeah, let's call them what they are, assholes that talk about God. You know, in some kind of authoritative tone, like they know what the hell they're saying. They wouldn't know God if she walked up and patted them on the backside, you know what I mean? And pinched them on the cheek. They wouldn't even know her. They'd just say, oh, get out of here, woman, what are you doing? And sad thing is, stuff like that happens in our lives all the time. The magic comes to visit you. And because you're in such a shit mood, what do? You kick them on their way. Say, get out of here, man. I ain't got time for holiness. What are you doing, babies? I ain't got time for, fun. What are you, bud? Don't do that to me, man. Get out of my life, And then we realize after they're gone, uh-oh, we just turned away another beautiful soul, a gracious heart, with whom we could have had a dynamic connection, and great things could have happened because we said hi to each other in passing. Babies, you see how heartless the monetary system, the economics, the social structure that goes around all of that, not to mention governmental and so forth, has become so corrupt, and naturally so, because it has no feeling. Feelings in you, feelings in your heart, feelings in your awareness, feelings in your knowing of life. It's not these things we've been taught as feelings. Those are beginnings, perhaps. But many of those are synthetically imposed upon us. You'll see as you continue to unravel the heart, and you'll let go of anything that might have any kind of hold on you in any way. And I'm talking about anything, everything. You don't want to hold and you don't want to be held. Not like that. Not in bondage. No. The bondage is over. The only bondage we know now is the bondage of the heart, as it securely fixes itself in our center presence and becomes our center presence. For that's what it's always been. We misconstrued it for a while and reassigned it to this side or that or whatever. And we put limits on it. We called it foolish because it got us into romantic situations that weren't always productive, but we couldn't stop it. The heart seemed more powerful than anything. Well, that's just an indication of the heart's power, and how if you really engage it, you'll never step into anything like that. There's no such thing as weakness in an innocent heart. It sees truth, it knows immediately. Anything that's needed to be known, everything that's going on, immediately. You can't hide from innocence. Innocence sees. It had eyes that go through walls, anything. There's no place you can hide. No place you can run from. When these innocent eyes come seeking you, you'll be seen. You'll be known, and you'll be seeing yourself too, because when innocent looks upon you, it's yourself looking upon you. And you don't realize a judgment in it. You might have some inside of yourself you got to deal with. Well, the innocent eyes will help you become aware of that, so you can deal with it and release it, be done with it. You see the silliness in it. You know, when you live in this innocence, you know the innocence in all life that's gone on all along. You're a part of it, a beautiful part of it, and better yet, the essence, the center love of creation, because what's in you is in everybody else too, and everything else. All animals, all trees, all plants, all flowers, the sky, the creatures of the sky, the creatures, everything. We all have that cosmic intelligence. We all work together as these grand souls journeying through the adventure of life, helping each other move forward for the higher good of all. That is our truth. That's how we live now. Only you ain't seen it that way just yet, but you're getting there. Because you're starting to look behind the scenes and you start to see what's really going on. See, this drama we're involved in, you know, the day-to-day stuff, and oh, you hate me and I hate you and all this kind of crap, all the stuff we go, oh, you didn't pay your taxes last year, Mr. Jones. You know, stuff like, you know, oh, you're going to jail, baby. Look at that. You just sold a ½ ounce of weed to somebody and we saw you doing it. Oh, geez. Guys, that's no life for anyone. And that's not the real life. That's the drama. It exists to remind you of your truthful presence. You know, it exists to rob you of your power until you get to that point where you become empowered, because you're finally had enough of being powerless. You know better. That's why it's so frustrating when things go wrong, because you know better. You know they should not be that way ever. Not ever. The innocence knows no accidents, no harm to anyone or anything. It glows with love, and that's how it operates as it goes through life. It doesn't need a release from trauma or pain, because it doesn't know these things. It doesn't exist in such places. It cannot feel pain. If something like that were to come to it, it would not receive it as pain. It would be an act of love, and nothing would be tarnished. The baby would not be harmed. That's how much protection is built right into this kind of love. And I know I sound like a broken record, because I've been talking about this one for a couple days now, but babies, you know, I'm just hoping we'll all catch on, myself included. We can be pretty dad-blamed stubborn, you know, and we can cling to our darkness like it's our life. And it feels like we're dying inside, and hell yeah, we are, in a way. Dying to the old ways. Dying to the crap that says we have to struggle and toil and fight each other to get along in this world. You know, dying to the idea that we have to be critical of anything, let alone ourselves. Dying to the thought that we have to have 1 minute's suffering ever again. Dying to the thought that we're limited. That love has limits and boundaries. Ridiculous, but yet we disprove it by living it. Nobody has to believe anything. You just glow. You just grow. You walk right into it. You float right into it. You fall back into it softly, like onto a great big old poof pillow or something, man. And it's the most comfortable and contented place you can ever be. So continue on your flight to fall backwards into the light. And babies, you'll get it just right. Yesterday I saw, personally, the opening of the gateways of the sun. Now, I don't know if you realize what this means, but if that's a legitimate, real happening, well, it's the moment not only of our awakening, but the joining of the realities, that which has seemed separate from us, the world of the dead, as you would call it, which is paradise, and it ain't dead at all, man. It's wild living, babies, rocking and rolling, strumming and strolling, and it's coming here to unify with us as the veils of illusion fall away, the veils of separation dissolve. You see? That's why I say there will be no death much longer. So if you want to get it over with, you better do it now, because, you know, tomorrow may not be. I'm kidding, of course. There's no point in it. You die now and you'll just be right back here tomorrow anyway. There's just no point in going through the process and causing others grief and yourself too. No point in it. Stay alive for a few more breaths. Just force yourself, stay alive for a few more breaths, if that's what you have to do. I mean, some of us get so worn out, and then we get all nobled about it, and then we've watched too many movies. We like to have the great dying words and stuff. It doesn't always work that way, but in our heart, our mind, our consciousness, that's what we're thinking. It kind of nobilizes our death, so it makes it acceptable, so we move on. It's weird, the psychology under the surface psychology that goes on here in spirit as well as physicality. It's all the same thing, really. And that's what we're proving by dissolving the realms away and then giving up the prospect not only then of death, but of birth, of physical torment to become born into this world. No way. It's over with. There is no beginning, there is no end, never has been, never will be. It was an illusion, a schooling that we chose to put ourselves through as a people, as a human race, as the Mother Earth's baby children, as the Mother Earth's feeling, knowing, growing baby children. We chose to go through it all. We took a loop through the darkness that would whack any ass clear out of the universe, and they would never be again. They would be over with. There would be a great hole in the center of life where that life used to be. And life would eventually erode because of it, and eventually just fall completely apart, back to protoplasm, and have to start all over again, basically. But instead of that, we brought what we'd lost from the center heart, where there was a hole, the hole that we've been feeling forever and ever inside of ourselves, that ancient old pain. I know you know what I'm talking about. We sweetened up the mother as a little honey trap with ourselves, and we brought that we'd lost so long ago here, inevitably, to abuse us, contain us, control us, strain us, restrain us, put us through the ringer, until, like I say, we'd had enough of the powerlessness. And then we wake up, and as we do so, because these beings and presences that were so far gone from us, then that took the bait, took the sweet and honey trap, and sought to contain and control the divine masters of the universe, not realizing themselves to be that already. That's funny how this goes. Came and attached themselves to us in these energetic ways, and so identified with us as this process went along, they became one with us, as we truthfully are. And therefore now, as we become one with everything else, as we reunify with the cosmic harmony, in other words, and know the truth within and see it created all about us, well, these beings come right along with us, and we fill in the holes of those that were absent from the great cosmic rainbow that makes up all of life. You see, the tapestry, I call it. It's a woven thing, the tapestry of time, but it's not just time, the tapestry of life. And it glows with that light. It glitters. It's got all the rainbow colors up. Primary essence always is gold, because that's what reflects to the primary color, refracts to the primary colors is gold. Gold is the pure light. White light is an aspect of that, but just an aspect. Gold is the purity. Gold is the reality. You want purification? Think in gold terms. Not in terms of buying gold or selling gold, not the metal, but golden energy. Seek that. See where that is. See where that comes from. Understand what it is, then that's the basic essence of creation. That's the subatomic light from which all life springs forward. That essential gold. I remember one time I returned to the womb, only it wasn't within my mother. I was in a place where, it's hard to describe, but you're surrounded by red, bright, brilliant red, beautiful red, and coming down through you and all the way through you and on into the atmosphere below is a golden shaft of light. Golden, pure gold, just sparkly and bright, and in it you are completely unified and one with everything. It was the most peaceful and pleasant experience I can remember up to that time. And I didn't understand its representation until later, that indeed I'd been taken back into Mother Earth's womb and renewed again. I had a memory of coming forth from there. I could know what the cosmic consciousness felt inside of that womb. I experienced it again. The gold light of love everywhere. We of the Vide tribe have the golden hearts. We're known as the Golden Tribe in other places, you know. Our city is also known as the City of Gold, which is the City of Light. And of course, people misinterpreted that and went looking for that old El Dorado and could never find it because it's not a metal. It's not a, it's a treasure, and a treasure and a half, but can only be produced forward by the heart, can only be experienced by the heart, can only be lived in by those who are living with the heart. That's really pretty simple. But of course, you know, our ancestors were of such unconsciousness they couldn't even begin to conceive of such a thing as that. When somebody told them there was a city of gold, it gave them all erections, and they got their swords out and went looking for it. They were going to kill people so they could get this city of gold for their own and melt it all down and send it back to Spain and live high and happily ever after. For what? I don't know. But that was the participation, the anticipation, the reality in which those people lived. So they really can't be blamed. There's plenty of innocence in that. I mean, it was brutal, it's harsh. It's just the way things have been. It's just the experience we chose for ourselves at that time in that place. See, all ages have their own issues. All ages have their elements they're working on. The age of darkness was to refine life back into its ever harmonious presence of being, because we'd allowed it to refract a little differently than it should have, for the sake of experience, for the sake of knowing unlife. How can you appreciate life if you haven't been dead? If you haven't felt the death within you? How can you appreciate life? Every time I've danced with death, she does nothing but bring me back to life and make me appreciate it. Not by forcing me to either, man. She nuzzles up to me and dances real close, just like, you know, a good partner would, you know. And then when she leaves, you realize you've had a brush with death, yes. But she didn't want you. She wanted you to be set free. She wanted you to feel the life. So she came and showed you what no life feels like. And guess what? You're more alive in no life than you are in the living life. It's strange. But when you're going over to death, you're going over into the love, one way or the other. I don't care who you are or how satanic you've been. You still go there. There is no prejudice on the other side. There's no judgment. There's just souls coming and going and participating in the life the way they want to be. That's how we designed it, babies. That's who we are. That's a little tiny microscopic peek at our true reality. And these words, I know, key up inside of you. Amazing awakening. You feel that soft love in the center right? Oh, goodness, guys. Do you feel that soft, that love of softening? That soft love that is softening. Oh, babies. Right there at the center of our chest. It can melt away any harmful thing. And it's doing so right now, because you have empowered it through the presence of your heart, through this divine opening, this awakening that you've created within yourself, here in the great daylight. You know, Grandpa helped you out a bit here, but babies, it's you coming back, through and through, because that's what your heart wanted you to do. So it chose this moment in time where you could remember the divine and to start to see what truly is here. I told this story yesterday about a dog's soul. Babies, open your eyes and look around you before all of this experience is gone from you, and see who and what you've been truly dealing with. If you look with these innocent eyes of the heart, you will see truth. You will see the images of the true characters with whom you're involved in this little drama called life. You will begin then to understand the grander nature of your own being. For what these beings, these true beings that are working with you, reflect back to you is the grand nature of self. All know this because all live in it, one way or the other. We're just becoming conscious, babies. I remind you of it again and again. Don't expect too much, but babies, it's a whirlwind, and it'll take you with it. The way the heart has taken you in romance before, only this time you know it's right. You have no concern, no fear. The heart just catches you in its little whirlwind and takes you along. And yeah, hell yeah, your whole life changes a bit better. It ain't been all that great. I don't care where you've been, what you've been doing. It ain't been all that great. Most of us, you know, are just downright miserable no matter how much we have or don't have. It doesn't really make any difference. Having has little to do with it. What you have, what you need, is that contentment inside that brings forward such a great and fulfilling orgasm that no one ever, 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 ever again will be without feeling, or will ever feel need or emptiness. or want or loneliness. These are things we've chosen. Do you realize how rare they are in the universe? No one's alone. All of us are joined by all of the inhabitants of the universe, in our heart as well as in our complete presence. It's how we live. It's who we are. So it's silly to sing songs about loneliness, but we do it, and we chose to feel it, and that's why we went through it. The baby's now, like I say, pinnacle of time. Right here, right now, right here inside of you. So just bless yourself and let it be, whatever it is. It's setting you free. And it's happened, baby, naturally, just the way it should be. Ah, babies, we love you now. Let's hang on and just keep flying, babies. The Coyote Medicine Show with your host, Grandpa Peter Coyote, only on the Hazy Radio Network. Oh, it's the daylight flight all right.
Find a place where there's room to grow. And yes, we've just begun.